What's going on, everybody? This is Moses Workman,
And this is Moses Turner.
and this is the Moses Podcast.
No biblical shit.
You know it. So this is our third episode. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, liking, sharing, subscribing if you have. We appreciate it. Please keep doing that and tell your friends about us. We want to get them on board, tell them some stuff.
Yeah, friends, family, get the word out. I mean, we're here. I mean, even at that, I'm sure that there's days that y'all got that y'all can say, oh man, this can't be life. It ain't shit compared to us. Though.
Yeah,
So.
right. We got some can't be life stories for you. So, Turner, what's been going on, man? How you been?
I've been all right. Just working out through this week. Still wondering why kids are off school because of some wind now.
Oh man, wind and temperature ain't nothing to an 80s baby.
Right.
We went to school in the most treacherous of conditions. We slid down the hill to go to school, like
right.
It was nothing, and then we came home like nothing ever happened.
Right. Don't be in a suburban school. You would not get a snow day unless it's like 5 feet of snow.
Right. These school districts got parents out here about to lose their jobs for calling off to stay home with their kids and
right,
whatnot.
For wind.
It's crazy.
For wind.
Man, check this out, right? So I'm a homeowner, and everything that happens in this house to me has some sort of monetary issue that pops up in my head with it, right?
Right.
So the other day, I'm sitting on the throne, dropping the kids off.
Right.
So after I'm done, I flush, right? And then, everything's going down, and there's this one little reluctant little piece that doesn't want to go down with the rest of it, right?
What does the choke want?
So, in my toilet, like there's the tank, and then you flush it, then there's this little jet where all the water comes out the tank, pushes it down the pipe, gets rid of it all. Well, all the water came out the tank, and that little piece that didn't go down, when the tank got empty and it, like, I guess some water shoots back up in there.
Yeah.
That little piece went in there, and it made like this pop. It was like boom. I was like, oh shit. Like literally. So I'm like, dang, what am I going to do? What does that even mean? Like, it went in like the wrong hole. Like, I can't even plunge that out. So I sat there for a good 5 minutes, like, dang, man, I'm going to have to call a plumber. How am I going to explain that to a plumber? Like, maybe I can get a hanger, stick that in there, jam it in, and clear it out. And then I was like, wait a minute. Let me just flush it again.
Right.
So I flushed it and it shot right out. I was like, oh, man. I dodged a bullet on that. Dodged a bullet. But anyway, so yeah, getting right into this podcast here. And these crazy stories. Did I tell you about the fake handicapped girl?
Fake handicapped girl?
Yeah.
Nah, this got to be good. This got to be good.
I don't know. Well, you be the judge, but look. All right, so I'm working this different location in one of the grocery stores I was assigned to, and this family comes in. This lady comes in. She has her son with her, and she has her daughter. Her daughter's in a wheelchair. Her daughter's probably like 12, 13 years old, my guess. So she wheels them. They're walking around, and this is like late at night. Not a lot of people in the store, so I just decided to follow them.
Right.
So mom and son eventually go down one of the aisles, but daughter in the wheelchair turns around and goes up a different aisle, like headed towards the bakery. So I'm like, who to follow? Mom and son or daughter? I was like, you know what? Let me follow daughter, just because.
Right.
I didn't really have no real reason to. I was just like, you know what? She's probably just browsing or looking around or whatever. So she wheels herself to the back of the store where the bakery is. And the bakery's closed. Like, this is past 10 o'clock. Bakery shut down. No lights are on or nothing. But there's still a few cakes and stuff in that case that, whatever that's called, like the bakery case, you know what I mean?
Right.
With the glass. And she's looking around, and I'm at the other end, like looking at bagels or whatever. She starts looking around. She's in her chair. She's doing circles, like surveying the area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this little girl doing? So she sat there for another minute or two, like she was thinking about it. And then next thing you know, she stood up. She stood up right out of her chair. And like, and when I say stood up, I was like kind of in shock, low key, because when she came in, her legs were like, like they were bent, like they were like bent
Oh
towards each other.
no.
So I really thought she couldn't walk.
Right.
So she's like sitting there in that chair. She looks around. She spun around in the chair, and then she just stood up like a normal ass kid
Wow.
and ran back behind the bakery. Right, looked around the bakery to make sure nobody was back there, and then came back up to the case, took one of those cakes out.
What the
Like,
fuck?
like you know how they have the cakes that you can just like pick out a cake and tell them to write on it and
Yeah.
be out. She picked up one of those cakes, right? And she got one of these to-go containers, the styrofoam joints you get from the
Oh god. Yeah.
from the restaurants, like when you don't eat your food.
Right.
Like she got one of those, but it was already like under her little chair in one of them compartments. So she runs back to her wheelchair, sits down, got the cake held up in one hand, right, and then retwists her legs, right, to give the appearance that she's handicapped. So she twists her legs and she reaches down and grabs this styrofoam container, opens it up, put the cake in it. There was French fries in there too.
What the fuck? Oh my. No.
So,
No.
so she got this cake and she put it in the styrofoam container, right? And
Yeah.
it doesn't fit. Like you can't close it.
Right.
So she's trying to close this cake into the styrofoam container. She eventually like managed to do it somehow by smushing it up all up in there. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, yo, why is this my job?
Right.
Why is this my job? So
Shit
she
that you don't get paid enough for.
she stuffs it in her container, and at this point, I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna bury this little girl for this piece of cake. Because when kids steal, like I traumatize the shit out of kids.
Oh shit.
Like this one time, these kids came in. They went to the candy aisle, straight to the candy aisle, and I was like, oh, these kids are up to something.
Right.
So I followed them right up to the candy. They didn't even get a bag. Like they just started reaching in, stuffing it in their pockets, stuffing it in their bags. It was like a snatch and grab operation, and it was two of them. And they after they finished stocking up, they ran towards the door. I stopped them at the door. I was like, ho 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 ho, I'm with security. I need all of y'all to empty y'all pockets, both of y'all, right now. Empty y'all pockets. Put everything in this basket here. Hurry up, do it quick, quick. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. So they're throwing all this candy out. Like I was like, look, you see all this candy? You know what I can do to you for this? I can take you to jail. You know what they do to little kids like you in jail? And you can go anyway with that question.
Right.
I was like, you know what they do to little thieves when they come up there? Like they look at y'all first and they say, "Ooh, fresh meat." You know what fresh meat means? And the one boy was like, "No,
Oh
what do that mean?" I was like, "Fresh meat. That means that you right for the picking." And there's a lot of fruity people up in there, a lot of sweet people, just like this candy that you steal. A lot of sweet people who wait for little kids like you. And I ain't gonna tell you what they do, but you ever try to stick a broom in a keyhole?
Oh my god.
I was like, that's what'll happen to you the next time you steal. Fuck out of my store. Like I traumatized these little kids. The one little boy was crying. I was like, yeah, I wanted those tears, every little bit of them.
Bet they never stole again.
Nah, I never saw him again. But anyway, back to the story. So she stuffs this cake into her styrofoam container. So she's wheeling around the store, right, looking for mom and bro. So she's wheeling around the store. She eventually found them down one of the aisles. Mom and bro's like looking at the aisles and whatever. She wheels up, and I didn't follow up super close because I didn't want to give away I didn't want to give myself away as a security, undercover security or whatever. So
Right.
I'm at the end of the aisle. She wheels down to them at the other end. She say something. I couldn't quite hear it, but it sounded like she said, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "Hold up, are they in on this?" Like,
Right.
so they start making a move for the exit. So I do a quick little two step to the other aisle, and I run down to the end of the aisle. But I stopped running right before they walked past.
Right.
So I'm just to make it look like I was walking. Mom looked at me, didn't think nothing, and then just kept walking. So I start following them. We get down to aisle four. I mean, register four, register three, and then mom looks around, son looks around, and they saw me, but they ain't think nothing of it.
Right.
Cause I had on hoop shorts, like it was summertime, so I had on hoop shorts, so they ain't think nothing of me.
Right.
So get to aisle two, register two, and then register one. So once they got past register one, I had this basket in my hand, right? Because I got to look like I'm shopping.
Right.
I dropped the basket and I register one, and they tried to speed up, walk faster. The little girl wheeling fast as hell.
What the fuck?
And so what I did was once I got to the register one right by the door, so I dropped my basket and I did this little dart move to get like go around and get in front of them and
Right.
stop. Stood at the door, was like, "Whoa, I need all three of y'all to come with me." And she's like, "Excuse me, who are you?"
Yeah.
I was like,
"Who the fuck are you?"
"I'm store security. I need to talk to your daughter. If this is your daughter, I don't know if it is, but we need to have a chat. You can and you definitely want to be along for this one." So I took him back in the office, right? I talked to mom. I said, "Mom, tell your daughter here to open up her styrofoam container." And daughter starts crying, eyes is water, face is red. These white family, so her face was
Oh
beat
my.
red.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Go ahead and open that up." It was this smush cake all inside of that container. I was like, she put a cake. She got up out of her wheelchair and put a cake inside of this container and closed the container. Somehow managed to do it and snap the lid and everything.
Right.
What's up with this? Like I don't even know what I should do. And then she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. How could you do this? And how could you do this?" And
I don't like this. She'll get a very stern talking to.
so I was like, "All right, look, since never really had this happen, and this is kind of a story for me. I'm just gonna let you off with a warning, but I want you to pay for this cake." So I took them, to the register, made them pay for the cake, let them off with a warning, tell them never to come back in the store. But then like I let them go, and as I was thinking about it, I'm like, "Yo, man, mom and bro didn't buy anything. They planned this.
Right.
Like they plan because who's
That,
gonna watch a little handicapped girl in a wheelchair?"
no, I'll tell you the truth. That was going to be my next question to you.
Yeah.
As soon as you said she got up and got that cake, like, you mean to tell me that these parents just let her in the bakery and she just got up and got this cake? How long have they been doing this? How many times they've been doing this?
Right. And why just a cake though? Like they could have got away with big like seafood and all that.
Right.
But then again, who's to say they didn't do it before? Because I think I might have seen them before, but I can't. I don't know. Seeing so many people in that line of work,
Right.
you just don't pay attention to people like that. You know what I mean? But I mean, they're probably still doing it to this day.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I just thought that was wild.
That is. I mean, damn. And these are parents that are doing this shit.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. That these are parents that are doing this. Adults are setting their kids up to do this shit.
Hmm. I wish I remember her name too, because I'd definitely check her record, see if she's in jail for theft. Because you get like 8 years for some stupid shit like that.
Right.
So
Wow.
that's what happened with that, man.
All right, hold on. I know nobody sees this, but I got this pop bottle in my hand. This this pop bottle is definitely a prop for this story that I'm about to say.
All right.
All right, so a couple years ago, I was working customer service, I was on a break with another coworker, female in her 40s. So we're talking, and she's telling me what she's going to do with her kids because they just came home for Thanksgiving. They're both in college.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she's just like, yeah, this is the first time that they'll actually see me without their dad because the divorce just got final. So I looked, I was just like, oh, okay. And we were just still talking. And at the time they came for us to come back in, she gives me a hug and goes, all right, I got to go back in. I'll talk to you later. And I just went, okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
5 seconds later, some dude just comes right behind me. Hey, gets the lady's attention. This who you fucking now? Points at me. This who you fucking now? And she's just like, oh my god, did you really just come up to my job for this bullshit? It's like, no, I just gotta know. I just gotta know. This who you fucking now? Thanksgiving's coming up. Our kids is in college. We had a happy home. And now you got this divorce and you think you free and now you're here fucking baby nuts?
Wow. Wait. They said
Yes.
they got a divorce. Like what? All right.
Are you right?
Keep going.
Exactly. So he was just like, yeah, you over here, you all happy and you're fucking baby nuts. I heard about you. I had people looking here. They seen you with baby nuts the entire time. So I was baby nuts like 25 times throughout this whole fucking conversation.
Oh man.
So I just looked up and was just like, all right, dude, you really don't know me. I'm not even going to try to explain this. Just here, because I had a pop in my hand the entire time.
Yeah.
I give the pop to him, and so he just looks and he goes, "Baby, what are you doing giving me this damn bottle of pop for?" And I just looked up and was just like, because the way you sound now is really, really thirsty. So you need this more than I do. We're right back up. What you mean, baby nuts? Just he starts going off. 5 minutes pass. He's still at the door waiting, screaming. Security guards coming up to me, going, "Um, what did you say to that guy?" I said nothing. I just gave him a bottle of pop and called him thirsty. Well, he's been looking for you. In fact, the cops are out here about to take him away. Do you want to press charges? I looked and I just kind of laughed. I was like, nah, I don't. I don't want to press charges against Steve. Just let him
Right.
go. Just let him go.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of me pressing charges against him? I mean, he didn't throw a punch at me. And to tell you the truth, if he did, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably laugh. Just to see somebody in their 50s just throw a punch at me. Like, that's just.
Man, I look at everybody like they about to throw a punch at me. Like, especially whenever you're doing that job. Like, well, they teach you that too, but like, always be on alert. Always look at their hands because they might sneak you. Like,
Right.
just to give you a quick sucker punch just so they can run away. And I look at everybody like that. Like I'm on high alert. That's why I make people walk in front of me.
I feel you.
Can't let nobody get the drop. So
Nah, because I ain't going front. I used to work security too, so I know exactly how that feel.
yeah,
And we got a couple stories on that too, but we'll wait later on in this to give you those type of stories.
yeah, right.
Oh man, but you know what? I normally don't like when I follow the news. I really don't talk about it on Facebook, and I don't really and the stuff on this podcast. I don't want to talk about the stuff that everybody's talking about, especially if it floods your Facebook timeline.
Yeah, right. I hate that.
But I just can't escape this one.
What's up?
I really can't escape this one. You mean to fucking tell me that just recently The people of Oregon
Man,
never knew how to pump their own gas.
that's insane. Well, Oregon ain't the only state like that though. I've seen some of the failures. They're just memes. I don't know if they're real, but not every. I mean, there's a couple of states like that. Jersey, for example.
Right, I know Jersey's full service.
But they like almost got. I think I almost got choked out in Jersey. Like low key. Like I drove. Like we were. It was for my honeymoon after we got married. Me and the wife, and we stopped at this gas station in Jersey, and I got out the car. I was about to just fuel up
Right,
like a normal day.
right.
I was about to fuel up, and this dude came in like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm getting gas, bro. Like,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Your
Like,
problem?
who are you?
Right.
He's like, "No, you can't touch the gas pump." It's like, I need gas.
Why can't I? Right.
Like, who are you and why are you talking to me, bro? Like, he's like, "Look, man, I don't know where you from, but this is New Jersey. You can't touch the gas pump unless you work here." I'm like, okay, well,
Right.
fill me up then, bitch. Like, fill up the tank on some 87.
Right.
He's like, all right, hold on. And then he filled up my gas tank. Like, I really thought dude was going to choke me out. Like, I was about to stab him. I had my hand on my knife and everything. Like this dude on crack or something. Like, he's really passionate about pumping the gas. Like, it's not that serious, bro. I'm like, oh, man.
Nah, what was even crazier is I went beyond the news story and started going in the comments because I normally don't do that neither.
Yeah, that's a death threat.
But people in Oregon are pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
I saw some of the comments too. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
They're just like, oh my God, I may get attacked while I'm pumping my own gas, and I may do this while I'm pumping my own gas, and I may catch on fire. It's like, what? Really?
Like, it's really not that big a deal.
Right. Like, you're just pumping gas.
It's like, is someone going to offer classes on this?
Right. Hey, you know what? Hold on. I'm making, you know what? If this podcast doesn't get successful, we're opening up a school for people who can pump their own gas.
Right in Oregon.
Right in Oregon. We're opening up a school for people who can't pump their own gas. Period.
And we're going to take the Oregon Trail to get there. With no dysentery. You do not die of dysentery, bitch. You pump gas.
And you know what? No, that's the one thing I'm going to put down, too. As soon as they pump their gas, oh, I did it. You died of cholera.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right, man. But I think we're going to call it a wrap on this episode. I think that's all we got for now. Thanks for tuning in. If you did, we'll be back up soon with another episode for you. We're thinking about bringing some guests on. So if you have an idea or you want to be a guest, let us know. We're open to it for now, and we'll see how things go.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We got one rule for the guests though. They gotta bring the bottle.
Oh yeah,
they have to bring the bottle.
We alternate on the alcohol supply on these episodes. So if you want to be a guest, you gotta
bring the bottle. Yeah, you gotta bring the bottle.
You gotta supply.
I don't know, and it's not. You got me till next week. No, you bring the bottle. You ain't the gas.
Nah, it's all good, bro. We got that. But no, if you want to be a part of the show, maybe hit up one of the Moseses, and we'll see about bringing you on for an episode and see how that goes, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, whatever your idea is, whatever your story is.
But yeah, we want a crazy story. Like that's really what we want. We want crazy stories, and we want to hear stuff that just makes you like
that just don't happen.
Is this real life? Like
right.
This can't be life. That's what we want to hear. So if you got a story, let us know that you want to tell on the podcast, and we'll think about getting you in. So hit us up. But as always, I'm Moses Workman,
and I'm Moses Turner,
and this is the Moses Podcast.
No biblical shit.
And we out.
Peace.